Hello, very, very good afternoon here. Obviously, actually, it's good evening. How are you guys today? So on Saturday, the 24th, as you guys know it. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. This is obviously right live on the Woman Agenda podcast. Hope you guys are doing great and you're having a fantastic weekend. We are live. As always, you've seen our interviews. This is the Woman Agenda podcast on the YouTube channel, live on LinkedIn page, and live on our Facebook Woman Agenda podcast page. Not live on Twitter at the moment, but we will be posting the link on Twitter. If you're going on Twitter, you will be able to see it very, very soon. Hope you guys are taking care of yourselves on there. So just be careful, please, because COVID-19 hasn't left us and the cases are rising in the UK and around the world. So please be careful, look after each other. And that's what it's all about. On there, if you want to be featured on the podcast, like so many others, fantastic female artists who have graced their presence on our podcast, you know what you need to do. Get in touch. talentspotlight309@gmail.com. That's talentspotlight309@gmail.com. Very easy to remember. And if you want to advertise your product, sponsor us, and help women get promoted more on the podcast, you know what you need to do. Get in touch. talentspotlight309@gmail.com. We are very, very cost effective. So talentspotlight309@gmail.com. We are available now on all the talent. Shall I start that one again? On all the podcast platforms. So these include Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts as well. Everywhere we are available. We are available on Geo as well now. In India, we are available on Ghana.com. On India, we will be everywhere. And obviously the YouTube channel for the video version of the podcast episodes. Subscribe, please do click on the subscribe button and download the podcast on the podcast platform. Thank you very much for your support. I can't do it without you guys. Woman Agenda is about you, about the listeners, about the viewers, so we can help more and more women in their respective fields, which include music and writing. We have a very exciting interview coming up this Wednesday, which we will be talking about tomorrow only on the Woman Agenda podcast channel and on the podcasts. So we will be discussing that tomorrow here. Today is obviously we talk about women latest news. So tomorrow we will be talking about the guest, which is appearing with us on Wednesday. And we will have the interview, very, very talented artist. So we will have, and we also have some amazing collaborations coming up, which I've been speaking to today. And just have this a quick sip of this. That was nice. So, things you have to do for protein, Protein shake. I'm not sponsoring this, by the way, but so there's lots of stuff. Also, if you want a booking, if you're in the USA, get in touch with Kirsty Krause at contact@kirstykrause.com. That's contact@kirstykrause.com. And she is a buddy of online buddy of mine, and get in touch with her. She's featured a few times already on the podcast channel. She will be coming back on soon with some more latest music which she's releasing. So get in touch with her if you want to book her for any upcoming concerts, shows. Very, very talented country music singer, Kirsty Krause. So, and we will be showing a promo of her latest music as well, comes very soon on here, exclusive only on the Woman Agenda podcast and YouTube channel. So we have the top 3 news which are happening. And here are the news. So France left in turmoil over abuse of women. Women and girls affected disproportionately. What's that all about? And Iran protests who was Masa Amini. But first of all, France left in turmoil over abuse of women. So what's that all about? Let's see what this is about. Now, as per BBC.co.uk report, news by Claudia Allen, a very talented reporter, France left Green Alliance parties are facing crisis now after two senior MPs were accused of violence against women. On Sunday, Adrien Quatennens of France Unbowed LFI stepped down from his role as party coordinator after he admitted slapping his wife. Days later, Green MP Union Bayo was suspended as co-leader of his party's bloc in parliament after accusations of psychological abusing his ex-partner. However, try that again. His party is investigating the allegations. The left-wing alliance has been accused of total hypocrisy by the far-right National Rally for their stance on gender-based violence. The two parties form part of an alliance of far-left, left and Green parties, which came together to form the new Ecological and Social Popular Union NUPES and secured more than a quarter of the votes in June's parliamentary elections. Depriving President Emmanuel Macron's centrist government of its majority in the National Assembly. Now, Mr. Quatennens, 32, is a prominent MP and was seen as a potential successor to Jean-Luc Mélenchon as leader of the France Unbowed LFI party. Now, Mr. Mélenchon's response to the allegations against his colleague has sparked anger. He saluted the dignity and courage of Mr. Quatennens in a social media post on Sunday, saying that the MP had his confidence and affection only later did he acknowledged the experience of his wife, saying in a subsequent post that a slap was unacceptable in all cases. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely shocking to see that women get treated in the 21st century like this. Shocking. So obviously they had to resign, and rightly so. That was the right result there. And over to the next news, which we have. It is women and girls affected disproportionately. So what is that all about? Let's have a look. As per abcnews.go.com, reported by Julia Jacobo, women and girls in Ukraine and around the world have suffered as the men of the country fight against the invasion by Russia. A new report by the United Nations has found the policy paper published as the UN Security Council meets to discuss the war in Ukraine reveals how the war and its global impacts on food, energy, and finance have caused women in Ukraine and globally to suffer numerous hardships. The report states that 265,000 Ukrainian women who were pregnant when the war broke out in February either had to flee or gave birth in a time of conflict. It also highlights how the crisis in Europe is exacerbating existing inequalities around the world, especially surrounding the scarcity of food. The war-induced food price hikes and shortages have widened the global gender gap in food insecurity. The report shows many women have been reduced their own food intake to provide for other household members. And Iran protests who were at who was Masa Amini. So who is Masa Amini? Now let's discuss it. We highlighted this last week. So protesters have taken to the streets across Iran to demonstrate against the immorality police. Despite huge personal risk, Sky News takes a look at the ongoing situation. Women in Iran are cutting their hair in public in a brave challenge to the country's strict morality laws, risking imprisonment in doing so. Across the country, protesters are taking to the streets and calling out authorities over the death of a 20-year-old woman in police custody. What is happening in Iran? Who are the morality police, and what could happen to demonstrators? Sky News takes a look at the ongoing situation. This is obviously courtesy of news.sky.com. An article by very talented reporter Michael Drummond. So, who was Mahsa Amini? The latest unrest in Iran was sparked by the death of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman who was detained by the country's morality police on 13 September for allegedly violating a strict enforced dress code. The morality police said she wore her headscarf or hijab too loosely. Iran requires women to wear the hijab so that it can cover the hair completely. Iranian police said she died of a heart attack and was not mistreated, but her family have cast doubt on that account. Indemnity experts affiliated with the United Nations say that report suggests she was severely beaten by the military police without offering evidence. Her death has led to public outcry both inside and outside Iran and has been condemned by the United Nations, the European, and the UN. So that was the top three news only on the Woman Agenda podcast and the Woman Agenda podcast YouTube channels. Please do click on the subscribe button and like the video. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back tomorrow with exciting video of the upcoming guests, which we have on Wednesday. And I'm talking more about the collaboration, which I am trying to sort out today with another podcast host. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow as well on the show. Stay tuned with that and lots of more collaboration news and lots of stuff we're going to be talking about. Get in touch if you want to be featured on the podcast. talentspotlight309@gmail.com. And if you want to advertise with us, we are available on our website as well, where you can get in touch with us. And you can hear the latest episodes on there, which will be uploaded, and you will be able to hear them on Spotify and Apple Podcasts via our website. And the website is, which we will be featuring on there, it is thewomanagendapodcast.com. That's thewomanagendapodcast.com. Link will be in the YouTube channel description as well. Thank you very much for watching. Please do click on the like on the Facebook page and do subscribe on the YouTube channel, and please do follow us on LinkedIn. We will post this on Twitter as well, and obviously you may see an advert popping up on Instagram and stuff as well. Well, please spot us so we can expand and help more and more women trying to make it big in their respective fields and difference makers to feature them on here as well. Thank you very much for watching. This is Raj on the Woman Agenda podcast. Thank you very much for watching this and listening to it on the podcasts. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I will leave you with this.